The oxpecker lowered its head. It was no longer eating parasites, a single drop of blood on the African savanna. Even that is enough to sustain another life. Beneath the thick, armor-like skin of a white rhinoceros, hundreds of parasites are already feeding. Most are ticks. Patient, silent, and almost invisible, they slowly weaken one of Africa's largest land animals. The rhino's skin can be several centimeters thick, yet parasites always find the softest, most vulnerable places. They search around the eyes, inside the ears, and beneath the jaw, where the rhino cannot reach. Its massive body offers little protection against these tiny invaders that hide deep within the heavy skin folds. Then, something lands softly on the horn. A red-billed oxpecker, small beside a giant, yet perfectly at home. Without wasting a second, the bird begins its search. Its slender bill moves with astonishing and clinical accuracy. One tick disappears, then another, and another. Within only a few minutes, dozens of the parasites are gone. For the bird, this is a rich source of protein. For the rhino, the constant irritation begins to fade. For generations, this relationship seemed easy to understand. The bird gained food, and the rhino lost its parasites. It was presented as a perfect partnership, a classic example of mutualism in the wild heart of Africa. But then, researchers looked closer. Modern cameras revealed a behavior that few people had ever noticed before. The bird ignored a large tick. Instead, it walked toward a healing wound on the rhino's thick shoulder.
One gentle peck, then another. The thin layer of new skin slowly opened, and a bead of blood appeared.
The oxpecker lowered its head. It was no longer eating parasites. It was drinking fresh, warm blood. That single observation changed decades of scientific thinking. Was the bird really helping, or simply exploiting an opportunity?
The answer is surprisingly complicated. Ticks are not the only insects living on a rhinoceros in the wild.
Horseflies gather around the eyes, while blowflies search for open wounds to lay their parasitic eggs. Tiny insects hide deep between folds of skin. Many carry bacteria, and others irritate the damaged tissue for days. The oxpecker feeds on many of them. Its diet changes throughout the day, based on what is available. Parasites, flies, larvae, and even dried skin around old wounds are all part of the bird's daily meal. A rhinoceros is more than just a giant mammal. It is an entire ecosystem carried on 4 powerful legs. Yet the bird offers something valuable in return. A white rhinoceros has surprisingly poor eyesight in the bright light. Objects become blurry beyond only a short distance. Instead, it depends on hearing and its powerful sense of smell.
And sometimes, it depends on the tiny lookout standing above its head, watching the horizon for any movement. From the tip of the horn, the oxpecker watches constantly. Every movement, every shadow, every unfamiliar sound is noted. Suddenly, the bird freezes. Its eyes fix on a shape in the distance. A predator is approaching silently. A sharp alarm call echoes across the grassland. The rhinoceros immediately stops feeding and lifts its massive head. Its ears begin to turn, searching for the source of the danger that the bird has already spotted. The warning may signal another rhinoceros, a herd of buffalo, or even the distant scent of approaching people.
Those few extra seconds can be enough to avoid danger. The rhino prepares to defend itself or flee. But while the oxpecker watches the ground, another predator watches from the sky. A martial eagle circles high above. Its sharp eyes ignore the 2-ton rhinoceros below. Its attention is fixed on something much smaller and more vulnerable. The little bird standing on the horn is the target. Without warning, the eagle folds its powerful wings. Gravity takes over. It dives like a living spear, accelerating toward the unsuspecting bird on the rhino's snout.
The oxpecker reacts instantly. It launches into the air, just as the eagle's talons slash through the empty space.
The attack fails. The eagle pulls out of its dive and flies away, searching for easier prey elsewhere. Minutes later, the bird quietly returns to the same rhinoceros. Work begins again, as though nothing had happened. Dark clouds slowly gather overhead. The wind carries the fresh, metallic smell of approaching rain across the plains. Soon, heavy drops strike the rhino's back. Water flows across its cracked horn and softens the dry mud. The oxpecker crouches lower against the storm. Its soaked feathers cling tightly to its small, shivering body. Still, it refuses to leave, because the parasites remain, the flies remain, and the opportunity for food remains. Eventually, the storm drifts away. Sunlight returns across the plains, and steam rises from the warming earth.
Zebras resume grazing, and wildebeests continue their long journey. The savanna returns to its natural, busy rhythm.
For millions of years, this relationship has survived droughts, floods, predators, and a constantly changing Africa.
It is not a perfect partnership. It is not simple cooperation between two very different species.
Sometimes both animals benefit, sometimes only one does. Nature rarely deals in simple, easy-to-understand answers.
It deals in survival. And tomorrow, the cycle will begin all over again under the African sun. The ticks are persistent. They wait in the tall grass for a host to pass by, ready to latch on.
Once they find a host, they crawl deep into the folds of skin where it is warm and protected. They can stay for days, slowly expanding as they feed, until they are many times their original size. This constant drain on the rhino's resources can lead to weakness and even disease over time. The oxpecker's arrival is a turning point. It is a specialized predator of these tiny, blood-sucking hitchhikers. They work together, covering the rhino's entire body, from its tail to its massive, sensitive snout. The rhino seems to appreciate the attention, standing perfectly still as the birds probe its skin. But the line between helper and parasite is thin. The bird's hunger is never truly satisfied.
In the end, both animals do what they must to survive in this harsh and beautiful land. The story of the rhino and the bird is a reminder of nature's infinite complexity and balance.
A partnership born of necessity, evolving over millions of years in the heart of the African wild.